Hey guys, it's Brian with Right on Red. I wanted to do a quick show about the Supreme Court case today. Actually, there's two of them. One with about the Postal Service, the mail carrier, and his religion. But I don't want to talk about that one. I want to talk about the affirmative action case when it comes to colleges. For years, colleges have been, especially Harvard. We found out that Harvard has been hiring, and other colleges have been choosing people and admitting people based on race as a deciding factor. And so much so that the statistics show that if you are an Asian person in the top 99th percentile, top 1%, okay, you're better than 99% of the people. You have less of a chance of getting in than an African American who's in the 50th percentile. That's just not fair. Not fair one bit. And it's similar with white people, a little less, but it's very similar with white people as well. Affirmative action seems like affirmative discrimination to me. It always has been. And the Supreme Court, with a 6-3 decision along party lines, struck it down, finally. And it should have been struck down a long time ago. Now you have people on the left saying this is like the Roe decision. This is ridiculous. You're changing everything about things that work in history. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You want to know why it doesn't work? Because you can't take people based on their skin color and put them in a position that they're not ready for, or eliminate someone from competition when they are ready for it and they don't have a spot. So ultimately, if you take, first of all, there's plenty of smart, intelligent people of every race that will get it. Diversity will continue, I guarantee it, without affirmative action, with hiring or advancing or admitting who's best, best person for the job, best person for the college, the most qualified. Diversity will continue. It will still be diverse. I will guarantee it. But when you take someone who scored very low on the SATs, or whose GPA was low, and they just were in the 40th percentile, say, and then you eliminate someone in the 90th percentile, not only did you screw someone over, but you just threw that person to the wolves. Now that's Harvard, say. You're throwing them into the Harvard curriculum and saying, now we know you didn't perform that great in high school, but now you got to step it up and perform well. You know what? It's great for your admission statistics and it's great for your diversity, but the fact is, there's a big number, if you look at the statistics, it's a big number of the people who are failing out, who come in with, now, if you're an African American man or woman and you performed in the 90th percentile, so be it. You're going to be just fine. But anybody, whether they're white, black, brown, Asian, doesn't matter. If you are anybody in the 40th percentile coming out of high school, you're going to struggle in a Harvard curriculum. It just is what it is. And maybe in any college curriculum, you're not ready for it. So you have the left saying this is ridiculous. This is taking us back. The right's racist. And you just look and you say, how can anybody with a half a brain think that overturning this and not allowing this is racist? It's completely the other way around. They said this is actually going to hurt diversity, but it's not. It's just going to ensure the people who deserve to be there are there, and people who are lower, they have to go to a different college. Okay, that's how it is with every race, and it's always been like that. If I'm coming out of high school and my average is in the 80s, guess what? I have to go to UB instead of Yale. Sorry, just how it is. Just how it is. But you put it this way: look at the Biden administration. Look at his cabinet members. It is a debacle there with Pete Buttigieg, and you have Anthony Blinken. I mean, those guys could screw up a cheese sandwich. And then you have Kareem Jean-Pierre, who is awful. All right? And the new deputy press secretary, she's like a monotone, like, oh, yeah. It just didn't even seem like she belonged in a speaking in an elementary school, no less to the to the millions of people on watching her. It's a joke. And the reason being is because he didn't hire people who were best for the position. They were all diversity hires. Pete Buttigieg, because he's a gay man. He was failed as a mayor in South Bend. It was no good. He ran for president, got swatted around. He has no qualifications that would make him good for a transportation secretary. And he is just awful at his job. And every time something goes wrong, he blames it on white supremacy, lack of DEI, racism, or transphobia, and it's just always an excuse. And if you're on the left, with our media today, you can get away with that, because as soon as you say that, the media says, yes, that's what it was. Pete Buttigieg was unable to perform his duties because of transphobia. I'm like, what? He's not trans. Like, what are you talking about? Media's like, yep, that's what it is. Transphobia, I'm telling you. I mean, they don't even have a position. They just repeat the lies that come out of that administration. Then you have Blinken telling us we don't support, Taiwan independence, and I just went over and I loved Xi, and I hugged him and I kissed him, and I think it's going to be okay. Everything's just going to be okay. You have Joe Biden, who just doesn't even know where he is. He looks like an alien with marks all over his face yesterday. And you have the trans, she's Secretary of Health and Human Services, I think. That trans lady who's just completely unqualified, horribly unqualified. And Mayorkas should be impeached. It's just everyone in his organization. He had to check a box for each cabinet position. Boom, I checked this box. Okay, trans woman. Okay, black gay woman. Okay, black gay man. Okay, white gay man. Okay. He's like, all right, and then, okay, I guess we can hire a white guy. We'll put him as Secretary of State with Anthony Blinken. But it's just, that doesn't make it look like America, first of all, because, believe it or not, the majority of people in America are white, Caucasian. That's just how it is. So if you have 10 people on something, you're hiring 10 people. If you hired, 2 African American, a Latino, an Asian, an Indian or Middle Eastern person, and the rest white, that would look like America. But no, they take it a step farther, and it's like, okay, now every person, we need 6 African American, we need 3 Latino, and we need a Middle Eastern person, I guess. We don't need Asians or whites here, because that doesn't look like America. Well, it's ridiculous. And this affirmative action stuff is long overdue to leave, because you can't fight discrimination with discrimination. Martin Luther King said it a million times, and he said what would happen if offered special privileges, if we accept them and we go along with it, we are no better, and the fight will continue just the opposite way. He stated he knew what was going on. Martin Luther King he didn't want equity. Equity's garbage. You work for equity. You earn equity. How do you get equity in a house? You pay down the mortgage. If you don't pay that mortgage, you don't get the equity, right? Matter of fact, you get it taken from you. Equity is earned. Equity is earned. Everyone in this country has an opportunity to do so. Now, if you're not the best person for the job, guess what? Get qualified, or go find another job, work your way up. If you're not qualified for Harvard, go to University of South Carolina and do the best you can and come out with an A average, and you're still going to get a good job if you did the right thing. You don't have to go to Harvard if you're not qualified there. Better yet, Democrats, if you want to really do well, why don't you help us fix the education system in the cities? Maybe that will qualify more people. Instead of just giving people stuff, how about we fix the problems in the city? But they don't want to talk about that. We'll do that on another day. But it's a win, I guess, for the affirmative action, although the colleges are already looking for ways to get around it, of course. I'll update you on how it goes, and we'll talk more about a lot of stuff later. Just wanted to get this off my chest, because I was riding around in my car steaming about this, how the Democrats say it's racist. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.